Hello, this is my sound check. Thank you for the preemptive likes. We got 2 thumbs up already. I've got my name tag from the retreat. Kept that. I didn't actually like mark it up or put stickers on there or anything like I usually would do. So, but yeah, I'm back from the Being Human Takes Practice with Jeff Warren retreat at the Art of Living Retreat Center in Boone, North Carolina. It's a fantastic time. Olivia and let's see. I know Olivia was there. Trying to think if there's anyone else that is in chat. But before I go too much further, my name is Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach. Hello and welcome. Thank you for everybody tuning in on Wednesdays, especially Johnny, who is all the way in Norway. Oh, wow. And I'm impressed. Ruth knows some Norwegian. Excellent. Hello, Gabrielle, Marjorie, Maureen, Olivia. Hello. Olivia was there. Got to meet Olivia and chat. Saban, hello. And Brian was there, and I got to have lunch with Brian one of the days. Yeah, I am Saban. I'm actually very much liking the weather. I was liking the North Carolina weather, which was not what I had expected. So hello to Cheryl. Did I say hi to Maureen? Hi, Maureen. And then Scalane 17. I think I said hi to Marjorie. I don't know. Cheryl, hello again. So I put in the ski lane. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's kind of like the motto for university, or the fight song for University of Minnesota is formerly Elaine. Okay. Schema, what is it? Schema. I don't know. I wasn't a gopher. I was a wildcat. So and if you I did not, I'm still I'm trying to get back on schedule. My organization is a little iffy at the moment. But I send out a reminder email for this sit. I did not post on Instagram, which is a bummer. I should have done that. And I did not get my scheduled email out yesterday. So if you're looking for that, or you think you missed it, or it dropped off your list, don't worry. I only sent out the one email reminder about 2.5 hours ago. In that reminder email, which is why I'm mentioning all that, if you'll see I posted a link to the YouTube support on how you can set your handle for chat. So if you don't want the numbers at the end, or if you want to go from being Elaine to Ski Lane, you can do that on that link. So, and Fred's handle, Fred was Fred C Pond, and then some numbers afterwards. Turns out there's another Fred C Pond out there in the YouTube world, and since there were duplicates, that's why it has the numbers at the end. So there you go. That's our YouTube public service announcement for the day. So I got that out of the way. I've apologized for my reminder email gaffe. So we got that out of the way. And then now I'm supposed to tell you a little bit about what to expect. So we're going to have a 25-minute sit. We're going to have light guidance. I'm going to play around with hear out and feel out. I'm trying to find a shorthand for hear out, feel out that I like. But so we'll play around with those. But that'll be the beginning technique. We'll get the ball rolling, and I'll offer some tips on how to implement that technique along the way. And then the last 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and do nothing. So I'll give you a prompt. You can continue to do the technique if you want. So if you've implemented the technique and you feel like you're in a good momentum, go for it. Your sit, you decide. But that last 5 minutes is an opportunity to just coast. So, and the 000 for nothing is that's just perfect, Olivia. That's an amazing, amazing one. Yeah, and then I mean, I am of the generation of folks who. So if anybody remembers IRC or AKA Internet Relay Chat, all the handles had to be unique on there, and so you'd always have unique number combinations and things, or your straight edge friends would have like their name surrounded by X's. So like an X underscore their name underscore X. So like they used to put all ages shows, they put big X's on your hands because you couldn't drink, and so they were marker X's. So anyway, I like I'm all for the numbers. So okay, keeping myself on task. I have a fancy bell. I have an implement to invite that bell, and I've got a timer, although I did not have my timer prepared, but now I will for 25 minutes here. So, yeah. So connection to the zeros, I think 5 zeros is the password to CEC Meditate for the Zoom. At least it used to be. I don't know if it still is. So we're going to prepare ourselves to sit. Hello, Sheila. Welcome. And yeah, I think I got everything. I'll talk about what hear out and feel out is just briefly. So it's the technique is like the first issue or the first issue of a comic book that you bought. We'll give you all that you need to know along the way, hopefully. So yeah, and kudos to Brooke for filling in awesome last time. For me, and then doing 3 sits in 1 week. So she guided Wednesday, her Thursday begin again, and then the trifecta, filling in for Jeff in the Ohio takeover too. So yeah, so thank you again to Brooke. All right, I'm gonna ring this bell. All right. So you could say that the practice had begun the minute that you logged in, but formally, I'm inviting you to take your posture. I'm going to focus on the seated posture, either sitting in a chair, on a bench, or on a cushion. But you could be standing, lying down, or walking. I'll trust that you can take the cues and instructions and modify them to fit. So upright without being uptight, allowing natural curvature of the spine, shoulders over the hips, the feet arranged in a way that will help you to be feel supported. And taking a brief sample of what's the inner weather like, or what's the mood of the mind as we begin our meditation. And we're not chasing anything away, we're just kind of checking in, sort of we're a little dudism, Kenny Rogers, just to see what condition our condition's in. And then a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow that breath down, sinking low into the belly. And as that inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, seeing if we can extend or even accentuate it. If you're like me, this is sometimes the first moment in my day where I suddenly feel like I'm calm and I have arrived. And so you can mark this as a waypoint, just coming back to this very basic, simple sitting and knowing that you're sitting, where the knowing is very natural and easeful. Okay. The wabi sabi clock is very shy tonight, so if you don't hear it, it's going. It's just not making as much noise. And I mentioned that because we'll begin with the first option for tonight, and that's to work with sounds. In we would say that working with sounds is hear out, HEAR. So the sounds in my environment may be bleeding into yours. Sounds around wherever you're sitting may be bleeding into that space. And the structure is to notice your attention or your concentration on that sound, soaking in and optionally labeling it here. So if you want to focus on sounds, that's your technique. And then feel out is the other option. You can think of that as body sensations or physical body sensation. And that could be the feeling of contact points on your chair, the temperature of the environment. So if you feel on your skin if you're warm or you're cold, and it could be the breath. The same pattern for noting. We're noting where we're concentrated, soaking the attention in, optionally labeling feel. So you can choose here, you can choose feel, or if you want, last option, you can do both. What does that mean? That would mean feel out and hear out are both within our focus range. If that's too much choice, then go with the first or second option. So I'll let you explore on your own. And if you're having trouble choosing, just sort of, there's no FOMO here. There's no missing out. And so I offered you a few choices. Here's an opportunity to choose one of the other options. So if you chose feel and you wanted to explore here, so you were working with the body and you want to work with sounds, you can do that. If you're intrigued by working with the sounds and the body at the same time, you can do that. And you can keep doing what you're doing. So it's your choice, and we'll keep going. And so this is your time, again, one more choice point where you are welcome to continue, or you can put the technique aside or put it up on a shelf, imaginary shelf with care, and shift into do nothing. And with do nothing, we're just sitting. So we're letting go of any intentions to control our attention. And as Jeff likes to say, it's an opportunity now that we've put effort forward to coast. So relax into do nothing. And I'll invite the bell to signal the end of our sit. Thank you for your practice. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. May we remember we're part of all beings. All right. So yeah, if any reports or comments, you can always put those in chat. I mentioned earlier that if you want to get added to, I mentioned earlier the newsletter, well, reminder emails. Actually, let's not oversell what it is. It's a reminder email. Sometimes I throw a thing in there, or I do a little report or something. So yes, good night, Johnny. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. You can send an email to the email address that I just put into chat, and I'll add you to that list. Usually there's an email on Tuesday that reminds you that it's coming up on Wednesday. And then there's one about 2 hours before our sit here. And the 2-hour one is just a reminder because I move this time based on whether or not daylight savings DST is in effect. So yes, Ruth, say hello to Kevin and Ralph for me. And yes, please enjoy. The happiness grid is something that Shinzen talks about. So if you look for, I think if you search Shinzen Young happiness grid, there is grid. I forgot the grid word at the end, I forgot a word at the end. I think there's a post on shinzenyoung.org, and then I think there's also YouTube videos. So that's two things if you're curious about that. That's Shinzen's view of how practice fits into a wider frame of a fulfilling life, maybe is another way to put it. If you were at the retreat with Jeff was using fulfillment instead of happiness. So just linking those in there. So I think we're back to kind of normal for Do Nothing Project on Sunday. No news on when the move is to Substack. So if and when I get it, I will pass it on. And the retreat was fantastic. I had a great experience. People were incredibly nice and friendly and welcoming and very happy to see me, which was a delight. And I got to talk to some folks late into Saturday about practice and meditation and life and all sorts of things. So thank you to Olivia and Bob. It was a great conversation. I think that's everything. I'm going to be away in near the Superstition Mountains in Phoenix, but I should be able to broadcast from where we are, so it should be okay. At the very least, I will be using my phone, so we'll have another away meditation. I appreciated Paul's comment that I've become very skilled at away meditations. Oh, and donating to CEC. The fundraiser is on right now. If you didn't get a chance to see that, the CEC is fundraising to help support the overall organization. And the primary part of that is just being able to pay for software, pay for all of the sort of things they need, and continue to keep CEC rolling. So cecmeditate.com/support-us, and that's what Brooke has there in the chat. I believe if you look at the end of I think Home Base with Jeff has a plug for it as well. So the most recent Home Base with Jeff.com, all one word, Home Base with Jeff. mindfulness.com. If you donate at a certain level, there is a surprise being offered, and I donated at that level, so I'm looking forward to being surprised. I think that's everything. All right, you still got 6 minutes before the top of the hour. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you, Brooke, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye.